all in my lane. You ain't overlooked, so get out the way. I gave you the book, I gave you the game. The boy gotta cook, the boy got a flame, Serving in the kitchen like you need no. Plenty pitching, whipping different flavors like a bistro. Kick it, dip it, flipping, keep it hunting like a seed note. Switching, keep it pimping every single place that he go. I got it. Lathan got the flame, Lathan got the flame. Boy, you know the name, get up out the way. Lathan got the flame, Lathan got the flame. Stay up out the kitchen if you ain't the one that's whipping, huh? Hey, yo, Lathan, man, cook them boys up something real quick, man.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Now today we got the most incredible potatoes au gratin. So the first step we want to do is get 3 large russet potatoes and peel them. You can use Yukon Gold as well, but russet potatoes got that good starch in them that I want as well. So once we peel it, we about to mess with the most dangerous tool in the kitchen, and that's the mandolin. I should have showed you guys some safety on this, but if you don't have to use a mandolin, just cut them with a knife. But if you use a mandolin, just be extra careful. And like, even when I get down to that, it's not worth your fingers, so go ahead and chunk that away. So once you get them, I think that's like 1/8 of an inch, very pliable, and they're gonna cook kind of quickly as well, and they're all even. So get those, set them in some cold water, and then we got our cheese. So for the cheese, we got all smoked cheese. So we got 2 smoked cheddars and then 1 smoked Swiss, and then we're gonna get that grated up on your favorite box grater. You can use a food processor if you got one. But once we get that cheese all grated up, we're going to set that aside, and then we're going to begin to work on our roux. Now this cheese here is just going on the exterior of our gratin, so we're just going to top it and put it under the broiler with this cheese. On the inside, I'll show you what we're putting in there. But so for the roux, we're going to go ahead with 4 tablespoons of butter and 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and make sure you measure that out because you want the perfect consistency for your roux. And once you get that butter melted, we're going to go ahead and add the all-purpose flour, and we're going for about a blonde roux. We don't want to go no darker, but you do want to cook the raw flour taste out of this roux before you begin to add your milk or your cream or whatever you want to use. So like I said, we're going for a blonde roux. Just make sure you cook that flour out, and I always wait till it starts to bubble a little bit. That's how I know that the flour is pretty much cooked out of my blonde roux, and then I begin to add my liquids, kind of like this here. So once you start seeing it bubble, you don't want to go no further on that roux. We're not making gumbo, we're making a white cream sauce, which is a bechamel. So then we're going to go in with our milk, or like I said, you go in with your cream, but I'm starting my bechamel off with some milk, and that's just regular old whole milk. And then I'm adding it in thirds. So went in with my milk, and then when it begins to thicken, I added more milk. And then once it got to this point, after the second go around of the milk, I went ahead and added some of my cream to it, and that's what's going to make this thing really rich and decadent. But like I said, add your milk or your cream in thirds. You don't want to add it all in at once, because you want this thing to thicken with time and be smooth and silky, and you don't want no clumps in this. So once you get that roux the way you want it, go ahead and season it up with some salt and some black pepper. And if you're feeling all Frenchy, you could throw in some nutmeg, but I'm not doing that. But go ahead and stir that in, and then that sauce should be nappe, which you seen it was nappe. So once we got it nappe, we're going to go ahead and throw in some English thyme, and then we're going to go ahead and kill that heat, and then begin to add our cheese. You want to make sure you kill that heat before you add your cheese, because dairy sometimes begin to break, and so if you kill the heat, you don't have to worry about it breaking or anything. So we went on with our parm, and went in with a cup of parm, and then we went in with a cup of mozzarella. And like I said, that's for the inside of the gratin, and on the outside we got the smoked cheeses. But remember, you can do it any way you want it, but that's the flavors I was looking for right there. And then we're going to go ahead and season it up a little bit. You know how I do it. A little onion powder. And this just prevented me from actually putting onions or shallots inside my bechamel. Then we're going in with some granulated garlic. And then my family don't like onion, so that's how I get my onion flavor in without actually having to add onion or strain onion out of something. So that bechamel is good and silky. And then we're going to begin to lay our gratin in our casserole dish. So make sure you go in with some good butter. Just grease that pan. And then we're going to go in layers with the potatoes. Now this kind of get boring, so I'm kind of speed it up a little bit. And you see the layer I'm going in, so I went around, and then I filled up the middle. Then we're going to go ahead and hit it with a little salt because your bechamel is the only thing seasoning it, so you want to help it out as much as possible. So go on with a little sprinkle of salt, and then we'll begin to add our bechamel cream sauce to this gratin. All right, so once you get it to this point, go ahead and add some parm in, and that'll be our first layer. And like I said, we're going to layer this gratin, so it's going to be 2 layers. So then we'll begin to put our second layer on top. And once you get all those potatoes down, kind of press it down because you want to kind of compress this thing. You want it to be kind of firm. And my gratin is going to be a little bit looser than the traditional gratin because I'm actually making this for tomorrow. And if I made it perfect the day of, tomorrow it'll be extremely dry and I have to add liquid to it. So you're going to see my gratin is going to be a lot looser than an ordinary gratin, but tomorrow it'll be perfect. So that's why I went a little heavier with my sauce. So once you get that bechamel on the top layer, we're going to go ahead and add some more parm on there. Then we're going to go ahead and cover this thing with some good aluminum foil. I almost said aluminium foil. Well, some good aluminum foil, and then going to bake it off at 350 degrees until it is fork tender. So about 40 minutes in, I went in with a fork and it wasn't fork tender, so I went back in for an additional 15 minutes, but this time I dropped the top, so I didn't put it on the aluminum on there because I wanted to kind of dry it up just a little bit. And once it's fork tender, go ahead and pull it out and then begin to top our cheese on there. And I know I was about to say aluminium foil, but that's for my people in the UK. I see a lot of y'all watch this, watch my videos, and I know that's how y'all say aluminum foil over there, aluminium, but some aluminum foil. But there you have it, man. The most incredible potatoes are gratin. You see I'm going on with some parsley. We got our cheese all nicely and bubbly, and I just went under the broiler for maybe about 3-4 minutes until that cheese got all nice and bubbly. But I know what you guys want to see. Yeah, it's just boring just looking at this gratin. Like, let's see what the inside look like. Let's see, is it really like delicious and moist the way you said it was? And here you have it. I'm gonna go ahead and plate it up for you guys. So I know I kind of moved my top layer off because I didn't want that to get mixed up into the bunch, and I want you to see the actual sauce and see it didn't break any. And then we're gonna go on with our top layer there, and then we're gonna release it from the ring mode. And I just have the ring mode just to keep it in place. And there you have it again. The most incredible potatoes are gratin plated. Thank you guys for checking this video out. Like, comment, share, subscribe. This is a good holiday side dish from the Bistro, man. Potatoes are gratin. Thank you guys for checking this video out. I'm out.